I'm going to record an update to my VMware vSphere vCenter appliance. Let me explain. Let's log in with the VMware vSphere web client. And what I want to do here is use the update button or functionality that's available right in the vCenter appliance. So we log into the web client. We can close this yellow warning. We can go to VMs and templates. And we can have a look here and show you what I'm talking about. All right, so this VMware vCenter server appliance, this build number 1312297, there is an update available, I'm hearing. Today is November 12th of 2013. So, what's the first thing we want to do? Well, I don't necessarily want to rebuild this or redeploy it from template if something goes wrong. So we could just take a moment to right-click it and say take snapshot. Something like that. That's good enough. Okay, so in the upper right corner, you'll see it's taking a snapshot. No reason to wait. We can proceed. If nothing else, we can get set up for it. So you want to type in HTTPS, and then you want to type in hostname, and then :5480. As I'm doing that, you can see in the background the snapshot is finishing up. We go to the, let's let it finish painting this screen. So this is on a solid state drive. It's a little slower to finish painting the screen right now because we are doing a snapshot operation from the solid state drive to the same solid state drive. So naturally operations on that single SATA 3 drive are going to be a bit slower. You'll see everything is looking happy and fine and healthy with the VM. Snapshot creation just finished. And now we're ready to do the actual update of the VM. So we go to the Update tab. And earlier I had clicked on it, but I didn't actually apply the update. Let me just show that in real time again. So it's going out to the available updates server, a special URL, and very quickly came back saying in green, available updates. So here's our current version. Here's the version we're going to, 5.5.0a. Let's go ahead and install, and I'm just going to record the process. And I'll probably go ahead and speed up time and mute the audio. To enhance visibility into what's going on, I'll go ahead and record the clock. All right, so it's finished. Took about 5 minutes. So that's good. And it's saying system reboot. Well, fine. How about a virtual machine reboot or appliance reboot? So let's go ahead and trigger that. Let's set things up so we can do a side-by-side. So we launch the console. That was a little bit unexpected. Waiting for vCenter. There we go. Yeah, that was long enough to be timed out of the login session. So we're going to set up a remote console so we can watch it reboot in case there's anything interesting to look at while it's doing that. Let's get set up here while we wait for the login. All right, that should do nicely. Now remember, after we're all done, if we're happy with this VM and the appliance, and we log into it just fine, it seems to be working, We're going to want to remember to turn off or just delete all snapshots. We don't really need to keep that around on the solid-state drive where space is precious, particularly because I snapshotted the memory too. So all things to keep in mind. Okay, so back to this vCenter appliance. Launch the console. It looks like I'm using 4 gig of memory. Just pointing that out. It's a very important point. I want to show that again. 3.56 of 4 gig allocated. So maybe I'm pushing my luck. Maybe I should be at a higher number. When you don't do much with it and let it sit there for a day and just have 12 EMs running or something like that, I've noticed it definitely settles down and uses a smaller memory footprint. So it could just be, caching or something. Okay. We can head on over to System tab, reboot. We could have done this with right-click on the VM and done Tools as well. Okay, so the appliance is restarting now. Surprised that we got as far as we did. Because remember, we're using vCenter and the vSphere web client to log in here. So I'm kind of amazed it held on to the connection and showed us video for as long as it did. Probably way too early to do much of anything with the appliance, but why not try? Impressive. Seems to be back up. How about trying to launch the console again? I did just click it. Nothing's happening. Up here you'll see the spinning indicator that it's trying to do something. Okay, so it's very early in the boot. vCenter is not even running. So we need to just patiently wait some more time. One thing we probably can check while we wait would be update. And this time when we click check updates, we're expecting to say no new update available. And indeed, no update is available. So we've successfully gotten to 5.5.0a. That's good. This session on the left, I would sure expect would be broken, or at least have to authenticate again. Of course it's broken, but are we able to get to the logoff menu or anything? No, not really. All right, I'm going to go ahead and give up on that and just launch my browser session again. Okay, we need to just wait. Go back to that main tab, leave my clock up. I want to give you some sense of how long it takes to do this whole procedure. We're coming up at about 15 minutes from when I started this whole thing. I have a shortcut for Chrome, whose home page is set to vCenter. So when I launch it, it just goes and brings me right to the vSphere web client login screen. So things are looking better now that vCenter says running over here. We may actually have authentication working as well. So there we have it. I could have used the C# older 32-bit Windows client code to keep a remote session going if I had pointed it to ESXi, right? Hopefully you followed all that and that made sense. That would have given me full video of the whole bring up boot procedure. But really, need to kind of leave that world behind. I really wanted to see if this update would just simply work from the vSphere web client coupled with the URL typed in a browser window. And indeed it did. Let's look at the summary tab. So now the name of my VM is not really correct. So I've renamed the appliance. There you have it. The final step would be, once I'm comfortable after maybe a day or two of operations that everything's acting normal, I can go ahead and take another snapshot or, well, delete all snapshots. Once I'm comfortable, I don't need to possibly roll back in time again to before the upgrade. So that's the conclusion of this video. Hopefully you found this 17, 18 minutes helpful. Thank you for watching and for visiting tinkertry.com.